Hey guys, how you doing? It's Art from Art's Model Trainz. So just back from fall 2025 York, and it was the best show I've been to so far. This is the first time I've gone Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, so I spent 2 nights out there instead of 1, and I actually came back more tired instead of more rested. I was thinking 2 nights out there, I'd sleep more. I slept less. But it was the best show. First, let me just say, Thursday, again, my first time being there on a Thursday, it was packed. I had to park the back of the parking lot outside the Orange Hall, and every hall that I went to was not only crowded, it had energy. It wasn't just, people wandering, looking at things. It was people hunting and looking for stuff. And it was a lot of fun, a lot of good energy. My friend Dell ran us ragged. We were trying to find him half the day, and every time I talked to him, he was like, I'm shooting from this hall to that hall, looking for this. I'm checking the road number on this. He had a great time, but it was really cool. Again, Friday and Saturday were awesome as well and well attended. It was good to see a lot of families. I saw a lot of strollers and stuff like that in the Orange Hall. A lot of kids playing with the LCCA modular railroad outside in the lobby of the Orange Hall, which was also great. That was more than I've seen in the past. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out now that the York Train Show is going to move to Friday, Saturday, Sunday in fall next year. So as you could tell from the thumbnail, I picked up a lot of stuff. I went with a vision for what I was going to get, and I think I achieved most of it with a couple extra things thrown in there and a couple things I couldn't find. So I only put a few things on the table to talk about because these are some fun things I wanted to talk about. There's some other stuff I picked up, like scenery things and some smaller stuff like figures from Artista and a little clock from Trainz that I pre-ordered from them to bring to the show, which was like that Lionel clock that you put the battery in to put in a park. I thought that'd be really neat. But let's talk about a few things. First, I picked up JT's Mega Steam, and if you guys did not visit their booth this time around, they are raising the prices in January. So I doubled down on what I normally pick up and bought twice as much. These big bottles are going from $25 to $30, and the small bottles are going to $10. So just a heads up, if you guys can get some JT Mega Steam before the end of the year, I would jump on it. No. All right. Let's start with some other fun stuff. So I actually, and hopefully this will show up on the camera, I found this on the last day on Saturday, and I haven't seen this before. Apparently it was run, obviously, in a Lionel catalog a long time ago, but a New Jersey Central water tower, really cool. This is not a lit one or anything like that. I guess if I really wanted to, I could add a little beacon to the top, but I think it's really neat. I'm going to hopefully find a spot for it on the layout. I might try to, I don't know, weather it or something to take the color. It's a little blue and try to bring the color down a little bit, but I think it's really cool. And it's something different. I run Jersey Central and New York Central, and I just, saw it and I was like, wow, I have never seen one of those before. I got to have this, and it was really cheap. All right. Also, prior to the show, I had called Grisboski's, and again, this is in the plastic, so hopefully it's showing up. I will get shots of this on the layout, but this is a really cool new Woodland Scenics building. This is their interlocking tower. And it's, it was just really, when I saw it online, it was awesome. And then Maddie C sent me some pictures of it in person. And I just called Joe up and was like, I'm going to give you my credit card, bring one to the show. And he did, of course, which was awesome. I'm going to put it over on my layout where kind of like 3 tracks converge. It's not a true interlocking, but it's close enough. And it'll replace an old Plasticville switch tower I had there. And I think it'll be a lot of fun to have on the layout. I think it's really cool. Again, lit and everything in a lot of detail, and you'll see that when I get out of the box. Okay, also at the Trainz booth. So I had pre-ordered from Trainz, let's start there. I had pre-ordered for Trainz to bring to the show a bunch more shelving. So I'm adding more shelving to my wall over here, as well as, I mentioned that clock earlier, and a boxcar, a New York Central Steam Era boxcar that I saw on their site. So that was a good deal. It's always fun to pre-order because you just have them bring it to the show. It's $2 for shipping, so it makes such a big difference. You don't have to pay that, that chunk of change to actually have it delivered, which is great. And then when I was at their booth, I saw they have these plastic trucks, so I picked one up. I don't know where it'll go on the layout, but I just thought it was cool, so I grabbed it. Also, while I was in the Trainz booth, Walt from RMT Trainz was there, and I saw this tank car there next to him. I got to talk to him a little bit. The stuff was selling really fast. I think they had a whole rack of it, and by the end of day Friday, half, if not 3/4 of that rack was empty, which was really cool to see. This is my second RMT car I have. Actually, no, this is my third. I have 2 other box cars, which are really cool. And what's really neat is this steam one, this tank car, this little walkway can come off. So it's more like steam era. And that's why I bought it, because I thought it would look really cool in some of my, steam trains. It is just, for the money, you can't go wrong on these things. The only problem I've had is this little tab sometimes can pop and open up the coupler. But what I'm going to do is actually just take some snippers and just snip the tab off, so I won't have that problem. Another really cool thing I found when I was picking up a box car at Brady's were these Lionel trading cards. And they're really neat. They were $2 at the register, so a complete impulse buy, but they're like all pictures of different catalogs or just different points in Lionel's history. Where's the one? There's one in here that talks about like their slot cars that they had at one point, which is really cool. I mean, for $2, they were a lot of fun to look at, and I brought them home. My son opened them up. He's like, "Oh, look, they're like baseball cards." And then he's like, "Well, what do I do with these now?" And I'm like, "I don't know. We'll put them on a shelf somewhere." And the box car I picked up at Brady's was this box car here. This is looks like weathered box car, and I had a great price on it, so I snapped it up. One of the trucks has a little bit of a coupler issue, but I put it on the track. I haven't run it yet, but I've put it on the track with some stuff and pushed it around, and it doesn't seem to derail or anything. And I just thought it was too cool, so I'm gonna keep it for now, and we'll see how it goes. I might have to replace the truck. The only problem is this truck is weathered, so I don't know how to fix it so that I could replace just the part that's broken. I'll have to look and see when I maybe take it off. I think something just fell off of it. I'll have to look on the floor later and see what that was. So another really cool thing I got were from my friend Mike, the Secondhand Overland on Instagram and Datified on YouTube. He gave me these 2 fire trucks, and they're just awesome. He gets these die casts from eBay and other sellers. They're a particular brand. I'll have to look it up and put it up there on the in the top if I can get the name for you guys. And they're great, and I'm going to throw them on the layout. I just got to find a spot for them. I actually have more vehicles than I need, so maybe I'll take some of the old like Menards vehicles and things like that I have on there off for now. But these are really cool, and thank you, Mike. And then continuing with the friends giving me things, my buddy Dell has hooked me up with Atlas Track. So I think I had mentioned it in my last York haul video. I bought a bunch of 045 Atlas Track to put under the Christmas tree. Dell gave me the terminal track and another piece of straight so that I can match it all up and make it a little oval. And I'm going to mount it on a piece of wood and put it under the Christmas tree. I'm hoping this will be quieter than using Fast Track. So thank you, Dell. Awesome. I appreciate it. All right. So that's a lot of the little stuff. Let's talk about what was in the big box in that thumbnail. So I had a plan and a price point in my head when I came to York, and it came together really well. Thanks to Sid from Sid's Trainz for helping me out. When I was shopping on the first day, I saw a few options for this locomotive, but Sid helped me get a great price from Vince, and I was able to pick up a Lionel TMCC Daylight. I believe, if my memory serves me right, this is from 2012. So this is very late TMCC. It has Odyssey 2-speed control, and it has more dialogue. So it has Rail Sounds 5, which has roads number specific dialogue and more dialogue than early TMCC. None of that garbled stuff. So it is fantastic. It smokes great. And again, I'll throw some footage on there so you guys can see this, but it is just a gorgeous locomotive. I was looking for something. I have the black Mecca Daylight locomotive, but I wanted a true paint scheme, a true Daylight paint scheme to run with my passenger cars. So thank you, Sid, for your help again. And this is an awesome locomotive. I'm glad I got this in the collection because it's just gorgeous. Even when it's not running, it looks fantastic on the track. And then to go along with that, I was walking by a booth and I got this for a fantastic price. This is a full dome car for Southern Pacific, and it matches, it is MTH, and it matches my MTH passenger set that I have that I picked up from Trainz a while back. And the only thing I'm going to have to do to this is what I did to the other ones, which is take out the incandescent lighting and put in LEDs so it'll match, and passengers. And it's really cool because there's, you're not going to be able to see it, but on the first floor, there's like sectional couches and things like that. So I'm going to have some fun putting passengers in there. So that's all the stuff I bought at York, but it was really, like I said earlier, an amazing York. I got to meet and hang out with a bunch of great people. The Lower Susquehanna Valley Modular Railroaders, again, hosted everybody. They were open every night. I got there Thursday night. And they, not only seeing them Thursday night and hanging out with them in the show, walking and talking with them, and they were like just great guys, and really appreciate them hosting us. And they let you run anything you buy, so it's just a fantastic experience. If you guys have not gone there after a York train show, please stop there. They're only like 15-20 minutes away from the fairgrounds, and it's a great time. And they do have food and booze, so there's a great incentive to go there too, and you're hungry after shopping all day for Trainz at York. And again, I got to see a bunch of other people who I talk to a lot through Instagram and text message and things like that, but don't actually get to hang out with. And then on Friday, if you guys didn't check it out, they had the social media panel. It was RJ, Ben's Trainz, Eric's Trainz, and Peachy's Trainz. Again, it was a fantastic panel. Lots of good questions, lots of good giveaways. We, from the 3 Rails 4 Dads, gave away one of our custom run pickup trucks that Grisboskis and Atlas are helping us out with. And it was just a great panel. They do it every fall. And Chris Montagna hosts it, and he did a great job emceeing it. And we talked a lot about like the future of this panel and how can we make it more exciting for people, get more people there. I quickly counted and saw about 125 people in the room when we did it. So you guys should look for these things when you go to York. There's lots of other things besides buying the trains. There's other events going on. So there was the social media panel on Friday at 11. Sid from Sid's Trainz and Optimus Trainz, they did a Blue Nami demo right after that social media event, which was fantastic. And there was other things going on, like a welcome party that TCA did on Wednesday night, if I'm not mistaken. So things like that you need to pay attention to, because it's more than just going to the halls and shopping. There's more events that make this a bigger thing than just buying trains. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to show some stuff running around the layout, and I'll see you on the next one.
This is 4410, looking for track. Over.
Southern Pacific, 4410. Take the green. Over.
4410, roger that. Be rolling in a second, sir.